Hey guys, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly video for November the 12th, Monday, November the 12th. And I've got the S&P up. We'll start with that. If you did not see the market, the Dow went down 600 points today. A lot going on with the market. The S&P went down about 50. Just a lot going on. If you, matter of fact, and we'll talk about some specific names in a minute, but let's look at this. I like to start on a small time frame and work my way back out. So again, there's our 5-day trajectory, straight up and straight down, right? And let's go to a 10-day, and it doesn't look quite as bad. Now you can see we're coming back into support here. That's our 200-day moving average, and you know, we're at a pretty critical level here, and let me show you why. So if we back out here even further, you can see that we have a head and shoulders reversal pattern setting up, and we're right at a critical point. Now notice on a longer time frame, this is a 1-year chart. This is a 200-day moving average right here. So we broke, you know, you want to be above that, right? So we broke above it here, and then we immediately failed and came back down here. So this is actually an inverse head and shoulders. So, you know, where do we go from here? And that is the $1,000,000 question. And we might get our answer, maybe even as soon as tomorrow, because very weak close, high tick readings, most of the day, not bullish at all. And what will happen, or what tends to happen, is that people will go home, see the news, or traders will digest what happened today and look at it and see how the futures trade tonight. Maybe people come in and and sell the futures tonight, or buy the futures. I don't know. But the point is that we could break and come back down and retest this lower level, or this lower level at 2600 perhaps. And we were just there at 2603. That was, let me go to a little bit, let's see, 10 days ago? I think that was right there. Yep, 2603. Right there. So, again, we could easily come back and test that, or we could break higher if we get short covering and people decide that they want to, be involved in this market, and, it's not that bad, and so forth. So again, we are once again at a point of big decision time. Are we going to break higher or lower from here? Really kind of right where we are right now. I don't know, but what I do know is that over here, when we had all of this going on earlier in the year, starting to look like the same thing, this will take some time, I think, to work itself out. I will be really surprised if we just rip up here back to all-time highs and just keep going, because this was some pretty good damage, and it might, I don't know, but I do think the faster that this recovers, the more likely that we come back down at some point and retest this low, unfortunately. And we did it here, and let me clean this up a little bit, and you can see it was from, that's February out to April before we actually got back and retested that low. So, I mean, could we go up and everybody thinks everything's great and then come back down and retest that? Absolutely. Do we have to have the second leg down? No, not necessarily. And again, we won't know until we have more information to process what happens here. But the first step is just, are we going to recover quickly or not? And I don't think so. I think the volatility is going to, I think we're going to have a lot more chopping around here to do. Now that being said, it's still, at the same time, it won't surprise me if we rally into the end of the year, Santa rally and all that stuff. So I'm trying to be very light, very nimble, and trade this a little more directionally than I normally do. But again, we will probably know in the next maybe even couple days or this week if we're going to break back to new lows. And if we do that, then we have the possibility of even testing some of these lower lows if this doesn't hold. So as always has been the case lately, you know, be light, be nimble, try to the market of course is moving so fast intraday. You know, you just have to be cash is king and be light on your number of trades. I'm lighter than I've been in a long time as far as the number of trades I have on, and there's a reason for it, obviously, where we are. So, you know, again with that, just be careful out there and watch very closely what happens in the next couple of days to see if we break lower and retest some of these lower lows, which I think is a pretty decent possibility. So know where your weaknesses are in your portfolio. If you have long stock, maybe hedge a little bit, and just generally kind of lighten up, and cash is king, right? So I hope this helps, makes sense, and watch what happens this week. So thanks for the time, and I'll see you at the next update.